Hi guys, welcome to this week's Warlord Wednesday, and I would like to say that my bases have arrived and I've managed to finish off my British unit for my Napoleonics, and I will show you that in a minute. First I want to discuss an offer that Warlord have got on the moment. 3 for 2 on plastic sprues, really good. It means if you want an individual sprue, example of that is if you've got the Carter 9 starter set for Gates of Antares, Concord half of the box works out to about 370 points or something like that. If you buy a sprue, then it will give you a 500 point force. So it's a good idea. But again, it's not just Antares, it's all the sprues. Get on there and have a look. I say it's time is running out. I think it might be this Friday. I think the offer finishes. So if you're interested in getting some extra miniatures just to bolster your force, if you don't need a full box, get a couple of sprues and get an extra free one. So 3 for 2 on sprues. That's a good deal. Alright, so let's go to the table now and I'll show you my British. Okay guys, my quick and easy basing method. First off, you apply this dark earth texture paint from Vallejo. Now it lasts for ages. This one's about 5 years old because I've bought a new one, and you can see the label has completely changed on it, but I've not even opened that one yet. I'm still using that one. So next after doing that, I then painted it all with this flat earth colour. See, it's like so it looks a bit more like soil. And then when that was dried, oh by the way, this you put this stuff on and I leave it overnight to dry. It probably dries quicker than that, but the longer it's left on, the better, I think. And again, leave it after you've painted it as well. And then the last thing I do is a bit of flock, which is quite easy really. Just cover the base where you want the flock with watered down PVA. Get your nice big tub of flock, like this one I prepared earlier, and then just pinch it, sprinkle it over, and it's as simple as that. That's them done. Okay, so let's have a look at the flags now. Okay, so I'll just show you how I did the flags. What I did was, there's loads of manufacturers out there that you can actually buy flags off. But what I did was I actually looked into the unit and I got the flags off the site for the unit. So they've just been printed off, cut out and folded around the post with just PVA glue. And then what I did, just to finish off so I know who they are, on the bottom I put the unit. So this is the 4th King's Own Regiment of Foot, Lieutenant Colonel Francis Brooke commanding. So that's Mr. Francis Brooke there. That's it. That's the first British infantry unit done. So let's just line them all up now, and there you are. 24 figures. The 4th King's Own Regiment of Foot, ready for battle. I managed to squeeze out some extra time this week to work on my Africa Corps. Now, this penny box is really good. If you go through the Bolt Action rulebook on the Rommel's army list for North Africa, then this box covers near enough all the options. You get an MMGT, you get an anti-tank rifle in there, HQ. I say there's 38 figures in the box, and you can do most of the options that are available on the list. I really like this cool radio operator. He's going to form, he was going to be with me HQ, so the two of them will sit together. So he can direct the, he can give his men troops through the radio. Also been working on the my Pt4. So it's not finished yet. Got weathering and some touching up to do on it, and I'm going to put the transfers on it. The 15th Panzer Division I'm doing. So I, as usual, been online and had a look and found out a bit about the unit, because if you're going to do something historical, you might as well find out about them, hadn't you? Used to most tanks used to have 3 numbers on the side of them, German tanks. So it'd be different numbers for it would be like company, squadron, and tank in that unit type of thing. As an example, that might not be exactly right, but that's the sort of thing. But the Africa Corps, what they did, we just had a single number on the side of them, which denoted the company. So the division would have, like, say, 2 brigades. So 1st brigade would be 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th company. 2nd brigade would be 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th company. So all that happens is they have a single number on the side of the tank. I'm not sure which one to do yet. The first and the 5th were predominantly Panzer IVs. This is Panzer III, so this is probably going to be either 2nd or 6th company or something like that. I'm not decided yet. That's a job for another day, isn't it? Okay guys, this week we're discussing cavalry. Ta-da! Cavalry unit. The big difference is obviously they can move faster. They can move 18 rather than 12 that the infantry can move, which means in theory they can move 54 centimetres in one turn if you get 3 orders off. Now that's not very likely. The reason why I say that is the game that we did last week, on last week's Warlord Wednesday, neither of us got off more than 2 orders in a turn. It was really difficult to roll to get off more than 1 or 2 orders at a time. So it was easy just to issue 1 order, move and shoot. If you issued at 3, you just moved once and then you were stuck out in the open and got shot to bits. So anyway, the big thing about these is they don't have a shooting ability, so they can't shoot. They are basically a hand-to-hand unit. Now, I'll give you an example. When the normal infantry units fighting hand-to-hand, they roll 6 dice. Elite cuirassiers roll 10 dice. So they hit hard. They also have a lot of them have an ability called counter charge, whereas if they are charged, they charge back. So an example is, turn these round like so. This unit's going to charge these. This unit's got counter charge. So instead of these moving the full distance, they move halfway, these move halfway, and they fight in the middle, and you both get benefit of charging. So as you can imagine, because they've not got a shooting ability, you need to get them in close. Now, when they charge infantry, a lot of infantry have a rule called form square. If a unit has form square, then once the cavalry get close, the unit automatically changes into a square form, which means that the cavalry then cannot charge a unit in square, so they have to divert and go off somewhere else. They cannot charge that unit.
The advantage to that is once a unit is in square, it is susceptible to artillery fire, and it also is less effective when it shoots itself. So that's a tactic you could use. You could charge a unit you don't like the look of with your cavalry. They then form square. You've still got movement left, so you move off somewhere else. Then in your shooting phase, you use your artillery to pound the infantry in square and squash them flat. That's about it for cavalry really. They've got no shooting ability, they're all hand to hand and they are very good at it.
So that's it for this week's Warlord Wednesday. Join me next week and I'm going to start the French Napoleonics. Ooh, mais oui. It's not mais oui, is it? Is it? Is mais oui French? I don't know. See you next week. Bye.